So going back to my brother's baby mama's brother, we'll call him Brad. So Brad sits next to me on the outside couch because I was, chilling on my phone eating crispy beef jerky. And so Brad comes up to me. He sits down and he's like, "How's streaming?" And I'm there like, "What do you mean? What do you mean by that?" Keep in mind, I haven't talked to Brad in years, since high school. We have not seen each other. We have not interacted with each other. Nothing since high school. And he was a year older than me. So like, we didn't even talk in general anyways when we were in high school. He was just there. But he sits down next to me. He's like, "How's streaming?" I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he's like, "You're a VTuber, right?" And I'm like, "Huh? How'd you know?" He's like, well, I watch Gargura and I watch a bunch of other VTubers, and one day I stumbled across your channel, and one of my other friends had mentioned it to me before, like, "I think Yuzu might be a VTuber, but I don't know because it just sounds like her." And so he was telling me how him and his friend was on a research spree of, like, if this is really me. And eventually when I posted like my picture online, it was just pretty much like a confirmation of it being me. And so he was just like, "Yeah, you like blew up, like you're doing so well, like you're so popular." I'm like, "Oh yeah, yep." And so we start talking. Yep, hi Brad. Hi, if you're here, Brad. Hello. So we just start talking about like my VTubing and like how long I've been doing it for, how much I make. Just like he was just so interested because he also watched VTubers, but mostly corporate VTubers like Gura and Hololive and stuff. And so he was asking me like if I'll ever move to YouTube because that's where he usually watches his VTubers. And I'm sitting here like, I don't know if I'll ever move to YouTube unless Twitch actually genuinely dies, because as of right now, Twitch has a better community driven focus for streaming. I just like how close we are as a community. I love the way that we interact with each other. But when it comes to YouTube streaming, I feel like it's more of like a K-pop stan. K-pop stans watching their favorite idols. You know what I mean? I like Twitch being more close with your viewers. Yeah, YouTube is less interactive. But yeah, we were just talking about my career and what I've been doing the past couple of years, I suppose. And he was telling me how his friend who discovered that I was Yuzu from high school was kind of like jealous or envious because he also was trying to become a VTuber. He just liked streaming as a hobby, so he wanted to do the same thing. And I was just like, "Oh yeah, I think I might have seen like their message, but I didn't know if it was them or not because they had messaged me on Twitter and it was just like some random alias, so I didn't know who it was. But someone randomly messaged me on Twitter saying we know each other in real life, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird, and I don't know who you are because there's like nothing for me to go off of here. So I was kind of scared. I thought someone was gonna blackmail me. It was just some random message that I received that I didn't know who it was from. But now like I'm clicking the dots together and I'm connecting the dots and it makes sense. And I think that was his friend who was messaging me. Yeah, like, "Yuzu, it's me, like, you know me." And I'm like, "I don't know you because there's no pictures of you, and how am I supposed to know you if like you don't tell me your name?" Or like, I was just scared like someone was gonna blackmail me or like do something like weird or like try to expose my identity. I don't know. I know what you did last summer. I know who you are. Like, that's so fucking weird. Definitely not the best opener. Yeah, he could have started with like, I don't know. Maybe he could have messaged me on his personal account. Like that would have helped. I don't know. That would have helped. Exposed in 4K. And then like when me and my family were eating, we were all sitting by this campfire, and so my auntie and my uncle that was there, they were like, "So Yuzu, when are you gonna have kids? Like, you're like about that time, and your brother and sister already have 2 kids of their own. Like, I think it's, a good time for you to have kids. Like, it's when you get older, it's gonna be harder. And I'm just like, I don't have time to have a kid. I barely have time to myself. I don't have, like, I think me as Yuzu is my kid. I take more care of Yuzu than myself, in person, than my flesh self. I take more care of Yuzu than my flesh self. I would say if I'm going to have a kid, I would like to have a pet first. I would like to have a dog or a cat to see how far I can handle taking care of another sentient creature. If I have a kid, it'll probably be when I'm like 90 years old. I don't know.